Good evening and welcome to Match of the Day, and the action's lively, if not live. 3 matches, all from the Barclays League Division 1, might help you find the answer to 3 questions. Is it still possible for either Manchester United or Everton to mount a challenge for the Championship?
Had to check. Wilson. Poynton. It's still on though. Stephen. Good save, Turner.
How long will it take Terry Venables to remould Tottenham into a Championship force? They meet West Ham at White Hart Lane.
Flicked on. Oh, Fairclough off the bar. Still isn't clear.
And are George Graham's Arsenal lads the ones to put pressure on Liverpool in the second half of the season? A pointer or two at Plough Lane against Wimbledon. But Liverpool and Nottingham Forest are keeping the pressure on. Bob.
Yes, the runaway leaders of the First Division beat Newcastle 4-0, their 16th win in 21 league games, the other 5 having been drawn. Over 44,000 at Anfield and more than 31,000 at Nottingham Forest, who also hit 4. Great crowds almost everywhere today. The best in the Second Division, 34,000 at Elland Road to see Leeds end Middlesbrough's 14-match unbeaten run. On the black side, though, 9 more players were sent off. That's 147 for the season.
Well, we go straight away to join almost 50,000 people at Old Trafford for Manchester United's game against Everton. In a supercharged atmosphere, it's hardly surprising that the game started at a frantic pace. And as you'll see, when that pace subsided somewhat, the quality improved dramatically. Your commentator is John Motson.
Steve Bruce wears the red shirt in front of the Old Trafford faithful for the first time. And manager Alec Ferguson, with whom Bruce shares a birthday on New Year's Eve, described his performance at Newcastle on Saturday as magnificent. Now, some of their players didn't do so well at Newcastle, so Remy Moses and Peter Davenport are dropped. Viv Anderson is back from injury. Mike Duxbury switches to midfield. Norman Whiteside goes back to a striking role. Everton have been beaten only once in their last 12 league games, but still find themselves 13 points behind the team who inflicted that defeat, Liverpool. Everton field the side which beat Luton on Saturday. The referee for this stirring occasion in the Northwest, Keith Hackett from Sheffield. Manchester United, red shirts, white shorts, playing in the first half from left to right. And Bruce, his first pass in front of the home supporters, goes astray to Stephen. That was Snowden. Heath to Sharp. Peter Reid breaking on the right-hand side. Everton dangerous already. Gary Stevens. Neil Poynton. Brian Robson's challenge. This is Ratcliffe. Wilson. Sharp waiting by the penalty spot. Trevor Stevens in the middle as well for Poynton's cross. It's going to come to Peter Reid. A lot of space. Jesper Olsen in the way, but second time he found Whiteside. Foul, Gary Stevens. Everton supporters packed behind that right-hand goal. This was designated an all-ticket match by the police some time ago. Now Anderson. 4 United players waiting to make the run. Robson to the forward with the header. Ratcliffe in the way. Heath. Stephen. Ratcliffe's mistake. Robson. McClare. Whiteside's made a run. Far side from McClare. Poynton got the ball away. Neil Poynton's touch there was vital, because Manchester United, thanks to Robson's early ball, had got the break with McClare. He was looking for Whiteside. Poynton got in first. Now Bruce and Moran have come up for the corner. In goes Moran, in goes Bruce, and away comes Reid. Duxbury. A little bit of anxiety in the Manchester United camp about playing Everton because they've not had the best of times against them in recent seasons, in the league anyway. Anderson. Duxbury. Wilson for Everton. Offside, Adrian Heath. There's an awful lot hinging on this match. I don't think anybody wants to admit it, but the team that loses today, if somebody does, could more or less kiss goodbye to the championship in view of the leeway that's there. And kissing goodbye to the ball, Colin Gibson. Wilson now for Everton. Heath. Free kick. Bruce to Whiteside. Anderson to Robson. McClare! Good save by Southall. Beautiful goalkeeping. Really read it from the moment Robson played the ball. McClare still thinking about the miss, but it was good goalkeeping. Heath chasing, and Turner having to come out, and here's Sharp, and that's danger for Manchester United. And the goalkeeper and the defenders were not on the same wavelength at all there. And when Chris Turner got outside the 18-yard area, he had to use his head in desperation, and Sharp was looking for the lob back into the empty net. 5 minutes left in the first half, and we still await the first goal as Heath finds Sharp in an offside position, and the offside tally is mounting up here. Robson, Ratcliffe, Reed, Snowden, Sharp, Strachan, Anderson looking up. Wilson inside to Reed. It's all a bit flat and square again here, and Reed beats the offside. He's away, put there by Heath. It's Peter Reed on the goalkeeper. He scoops it over the bar. Well, that was the best chance of the first half, and I think Peter will be the first to admit it. He had so much time to think about it and so far to run that he wouldn't have found himself in that position, being a midfield player, all that often, and wouldn't be proud of the finish. Poynton's header. Wilson. And now Reed. Heath wasn't ready for that. Well, a stern, unforgiving fixture this, usually between Manchester United and Everton. It's been a little bit that way today in the first half. Peter Reed reflecting on the one outstanding opening that fell to him. And at the other end, earlier in the game, his goalkeeper, Neil Southall, made a fine save from Brian McClare. Otherwise, not much to report, with a half-time score of Manchester United 0, Everton 0. So Peter Davenport starts the second half in the Manchester United attack, replacing Norman Whiteside. Davenport actually began the game at Newcastle on Saturday. Brian Robson into McClare. Now here's a chance. McClare, yes, a goal for Manchester United by Brian McClare. Beautifully taken and very well made. And it started back there when Davenport let Robson take over. The ball that found McClare was excellent, but Gary Stevens was coming into challenge, and the centre-forward did very well to hold off that and to steer his shot past Southall. So, the top scorer, who cost big money from Celtic, repays a further part of his fee and puts Manchester United in the lead. The first goal in this fixture for over 2.5 matches. 0-0 the last 2 years here, but 1-0 now today to the Reds. And how coolly McClare finished that. Now Poynton, volleyed towards Trevor Stephen. Gibson will have to be quick. Stevens. Reed. Play on, says Keith Hackett, and McClare's glad to do so. Now Duxbury's made a good run from well inside his own half, Mike Duxbury. Ratcliffe's coming across, Davenport on the far side. Still Duxbury. Goes down, nothing given. And that's a good decision as well. It was Poynton who made the challenge. It wasn't a penalty. The referee is having a stormingly good game in my view. They might boo and round the ground, but Duxbury really went all the way just for the last few yards. Keith Hackett right on the spot again, and absolutely accurate in his decision. Reed. Oh, he did that well. Brilliant. Stevens. Oh, that's terrific play by Everton. And they've got Snowden in behind Bruce. And if Heath can finish this... Had to check. Wilson. Poynton. It's still on, though. Stephen! Good save, Turner. A scintillating move by Everton. Started by Peter Reed with tremendous close skills on this near touchline, and it's swept away then to the far side, and the goalkeeper had to make an important save from Trevor Stephen. The attendance given is 47,024. Another huge crowd at Old Trafford. Colin Gibson into Olsen. Asking too much of Duxbury. Olsen still got a foot in, though. And Moran against Heath. Oh, what a mistake by Moran. And Heath prodded inside to Sharp. And an absolutely vital piece of defending by Steve Bruce. Getting Kevin Moran completely out of jail. Well, what a mistake, and what a letter. And a real point for discussion later there as to whether Heath did the right thing when he had the chance. It was Davenport at the other end. Foul by Ratcliffe. And McClare gets angry, and I'm not really surprised, because that was a break on goal if Ratcliffe hadn't done that. Well, incident piling up on incident here. No sooner have Manchester United cleared their lines desperately, they suddenly found a way through at the other end, or nearly. Here's Olsen. Well, Kevin Moran will look back on that incident and breathe a huge sigh of relief. He never got anywhere near finding Turner with the back pass. He let Heath in, but the angle wasn't great, I have to say that. While Heath was deciding what he was going to do, Bruce saw what was on in the middle and came onto the goal line to block the effort from Sharp. Olsen. Bruce. So to Davenport chase that, but Harry Stevens is the man in possession. Gibson gets the header in. Davenport. Gibson again. Robson's just inside. Olsen. Throw-in it is. Gibson. McClare. Strachan. Oh! Yes! Penalty! Strachan fouled just inside the box. And Keith Hackett had one look and pointed towards the spot. Poynton comes across disappointed. He didn't think it was an unfair challenge, but Strachan went down, and a penalty it is to Manchester United at the Stretford end. Brian McClare has a chance to score his second goal of the match, and what would be his 16th of the season. What a good strike by Brian McClare. And the ground erupts as the Manchester United supporters salute the second goal from a centre-forward who is becoming more popular as time goes on. He didn't win the fans over right away, McClare, but if he puts the ball in the back of the net like he has today, then he's going to be quite a favourite here. 2-0. Substitution by Everton. Ian Wilson will come off and be replaced by Wayne Clark. And that may have put the match beyond the reach of Everton, durable though they are. Well, Poynton was the man who looked crestfallen when that tackle was judged to be a foul. And there's going to be a substitution here by Manchester United. Gordon Strachan is the player they're calling off. And I think they would expect Rennie Moses to go on, just time it up a little bit at this stage. 2 goals up. Strachan, the man who earned the penalty, had a good second half. In goes Sharp, and there's Watson, and a goal for Everton. Watson again shows what a dangerous presence he is when he goes into the opposite 18-yard area. And Manchester United really caught sleeping a bit at the back. Well won by Sharp, and Watson coming in on the far side, and that's 2-1. So, the old lesson, take nothing for granted. Strong mental resolve being shown by Everton from a position 2-0 down. They've found yet another foothold in the match. Sharp was the player who was fouled. Watson has gone forward again. This was a similar position to the way the goal came, really. Stevens forward, and Watson. Well, Anderson looks at Bruce. Bruce looks back at Anderson, and between them, they almost allowed Dave Watson his second goal and the equaliser. Not very good defending. Manchester United take the points and beat what has become their bogey team in the league after an exciting second half in which Brian McClare scored both United's goals and in which Everton staged a late rally with Watson getting one back and made the United defence look uneasy at the end. But my word, let's have a word for the referee. They've taken so much criticism lately. Keith Hackett, absolutely superb.
And I agree with John that Keith Hackett handled that game extremely well, considering its fiery, competitive nature, without even showing a yellow card. And a referee of that calibre is able to get away with it. What confuses many spectators and players too is that other referees are far quicker on the trigger and they don't really know where they stand. Kevin Ratcliffe was one player today who must have considered himself lucky not to be booked for his challenge on Norman Whiteside. I wonder which refereeing style is really preferred by spectators, many of whom have developed the habit themselves of screaming for punishment after almost every clash. Two different points of view there. But I only had one firm view on the quality of Brian Robson and Peter Reid's midfield domination and inspiration. That's good news for England's European Championship chances. Well, now to White Hart Lane for the London derby between Spurs and West Ham. Normally teams graced with style and confidence, but a trifle short of it this season. Your commentator, Tony Gubber.
Tottenham are still waiting for their first home goal under the new managership of Terry Venables. The two previous matches here at White Hart Lane ended in defeat 2-0 and 1-0. And with injury forcing them to leave out Clive Allen and this season's top scorer Nico Klaassen, Tottenham are fielding a team today who've scored only 7 goals between them all season. There's still no Ray Clements or Gary Mabbott, but it's a big day for 19-year-old Paul Moran, who's making his first league appearance here at White Hart Lane. West Ham, who lost both games here last season by an aggregate of 9-0, have similar injury problems, and they've turned once again to the veteran Billy Bonds, now aged 41 years, 3 months and 11 days, a man who began his league career before Moran and 2 of his own teammates were even born. Referee today, Mr. John Martin from Hampshire. And it's Spurs who kick off, attacking the goal to the left, having won only 1 of the last 12 matches, and having slumped from 2nd in the First Division behind Liverpool down to 13th. But this, a traditional Christmas holiday fixture in which they score goals. Gary Stevens. Early touch of the ball for Tony Parks, having an extended run in place of the injured Ray Clements. Terrific support on this bank holiday morning, and here's young Moran, a good ball inside to Hodge. Oh, he's missed the target. The first touch in league football for the youngster who's only 19, and it was a perfect pass to set up Hodge, who surely should have hit the target, and Tottenham have wasted the first opportunity. Well, Terry Venables there in the middle with Alan Harris, his number 2, to his left as we look. Must be full of dismay. Goals have certainly been hard to come by, and you can't afford to waste chances like that. Fairclough. Dealers. Now, Moran, faced by Hilton. Good tackle back by Ray Stewart. John Martin sees it as an offence. West Ham's captain intercepting from behind to dispossess Moran, and Tottenham have yet another free kick, but this time in a much more interesting position, right on the edge of the penalty area. And surely an opportunity here for someone of the likes of Waddle to test McAllister in goal. Ardiles is with him. Little discussion between the 2 Tottenham players. You or me, and there's plenty of white shirts forward, but surely he'll test the keeper. Ardiles steps over it. Waddle! Oh, yes! That's the way to do it! Waddle's second goal of the season, and his first since way back in August. 1-0 Tottenham, and it's no more than they've deserved. And that's the first goal that Venables and Harris have seen Tottenham score here at White Hart Lane, and they've had to wait a long time for it. Oh, nicely inside for Keane. Can West Ham reply early? Over the bar by Brian Statham. Well, suddenly this Christmas holiday fixture has come to life in the way that we expected. Brady, again. Around Howells. Cottee! Struck it well, but pulled it into the post. Well, certainly West Ham would like to reply as quickly as possible. No doubt remembering that when Spurs visited Upton Park in September, Spurs won 1-0 with that goal that day by Fairclough. And interestingly enough, at that occasion, Spurs were second in Division 1. And that's the half-time whistle. The first half, frankly, that was a little disappointing, and which didn't really only begin to fizz until Chris Waddle had put in that free kick after 31 minutes. And at half-time, it's Tottenham 1, West Ham 0. Nice to see some fresh young faces among the holiday crowd, and of course it's an extra special treat if your team goes on to win the match. So West Ham start the second half, and they'll certainly be conscious that they'll have to play a lot better in the second 45 minutes if they're to resurrect something from this bank holiday fixture. Haven't won here at White Hart Lane in the league for 4 seasons, West Ham. There's just 1 or 2 of the injured players for Tottenham. Klassen and Method, Mabbutt and Clive Allen just biting his nails. Statham, good deep ball to find Moran. And the referee sees that as a foul by Robson and wants a word of the West Ham right back. He's certainly putting himself about. 6 forward in a group for Spurs. Fairclough. That's a corner. Stewart who got there first. Going Waddle places the ball carefully. Flicked on. Oh, Fairclough off the bar. Still isn't clear. Well, how did West Ham survive? Chris Fairclough, who got the goal against him at West Ham back in September, hits the bar, and then the final effort just too high. That's again a Tottenham ball. In fact, John Martin has decided that Hilton's challenge in the back on Moran was a foul. And so a free kick. It's a similar position from the one that led to Waddle's goal, a little bit further out. Oh, hit the post! It was Howells. David Howells, a header that hit the foot of the post. And that's twice in the space of a minute that West Ham have found the woodwork rattled. First by Fairclough, then by Howells. That doesn't reach the halfway line. Waddle. Hodges made a run. And that'll be West Ham's throw. Tries to steal a few yards, Stuart Robson. Bonds. And this is Brady. Harried by Moran. Keane. Statham clears it the second time. Waddle with a bit of space to come forward. Well, that's the result of Waddle really holding the ball too long, because there were options on for him. Now Bonds for West Ham. Hilton. Dispossessed by Mitchell Thomas. Martinez. Keane. Moran. Waddle. Back to Moran. Ray Stewart ahead of him. Gets around him. Oh! Warm applause for Paul Moran. A fine run. Beat Ray Stewart with George Parris there as well. The left foot shot from outside the area. Curling just a little bit too high of that far right angle. Still in play. Hints. And this looks like the first yellow card. And Tottenham players don't like the signs here with Mr. John Martin reaching for his back pocket, because there have certainly been one or two, let's say, clumsy challenges. And Brian Statham, who's only 19, wouldn't want to mark his second appearance in the Tottenham first team with a caution. But that's what he gets, and maybe that's the result of the referee deciding it was time to stamp his foot down a little harder. But maybe he could have done it after an earlier incident. Brady. Looking for Robson. Hilton's forward, this is Robson. And away with Mitchell Thomas. West Ham's throw. And the West Ham support at that end of the ground, feeling they now have something to shout about. Hilton! Cotti! Hilton! It's 1-1! Paul Hilton! And look at the celebration! Paul Hilton's first goal of the season. And he has to thank Tony Cotti, doesn't he? Hilton got the first header from the corner. Cotti cut it back, and it was there hanging, inviting for Hilton. And it's one apiece. Moran for Tottenham. Allen. And now just listen to the West Ham voices. Robson. And that's certainly keeping the feet warm. Forced to check by Brady. Now Waddle, a long way out. That was deflected. And that'll be a corner. And McAllister was quite right to stay on his line with that fierce wind blowing into his face. And watch that ball all the time. Deflection came off Stewart. Tottenham with a corner. Fairclough's at the near post. Mitchell Thomas at the far post. Taken by Waddle. Waddle kept it in play. Yes! Fairclough! He does it again! Beautifully found by Waddle. But where had the defenders gone? Tottenham's reply was immediate. Chris Fairclough, whose goal beat West Ham at Upton Park in September, puts Tottenham back in front 2-1. Well, he stood on the near post for the first corner by Waddle, and when the ball went back out to Waddle, he stayed there, but the marker seemed to move away, and Waddle was unmarked. There was Fairclough. an easy goal. And young Paul Moran's league debut comes to an end with a standing ovation for the 19-year-old, who's had a marvellous match, replaced now by Sean Close, who is 21. Ward to Ince again. Can he get in a shot? Well, he beat Parks as the keeper came off his line, but couldn't quite keep his balance and make second contact. And at this point, West Ham decide that maybe discretion calls for the pulling off of Mark Ward, who's just been booked and who certainly appeared to speak towards John Lyall in the dugout there in a manner which didn't look too friendly. He's gone straight to the dressing room, and West Ham have sent on Gary Stroder, number 14. And Gary Stroder cost £100,000 when he came from Lincoln City in March this year. Terry Venables already on his feet, and there's the fire whistle. Little salute from Terry Venables. Has seen his Tottenham team finally score a goal at White Hart Lane and win their second match under his management. Fairclough got the winning goal, having beaten West Ham at Upton Park in September. A fixture which Tottenham traditionally win, but by a narrower scoreline this year than in the past. The final score is Tottenham 2, West Ham 1.
What I like so much about that game were the impressive performances from three youngsters, all attackers and all blessed with special creative talents. Paul Moran, Kevin Keane and Paul Ince. A look at the build-up to Moran's near miss shows first his neat control from Fairclough's long ball, and as he begins to combine with Waddle, it's evident that he's predominantly right-footed. See that the foot that players dribble with is their natural one. But the blessing for some of us is that after cutting inside, he has the confidence and the ability to let fly with his left with nearly enough control to bring the house down. In contrast, Kevin Keane's moment was brief and frighteningly cheeky for some. As the ball is headed clear from Spurs' free kick, he backheels the ball into his own penalty area, confident in his own ability to find Liam Brady and prepared to accept a roasting if it misfired. Lastly, Paul Ince's agility of body and mind nearly made an equaliser late on. He times the run perfectly onto Ward's chip. He assesses the keeper's run to intercept and knowingly nicks the ball into space for himself. But a touch from Parks might not merit a penalty, but was enough to destroy his balance and opportunity. Bob.
There's still no stopping Liverpool. 21 league games unbeaten now, and 4 more goals today take their total for the season to 51. Steve McMahon put Liverpool ahead after only 4 minutes. John Aldridge made it 2-0 with a disputed penalty and added his 18th goal of the season 15 minutes from the end, before Ray Houghton made it 4-0 2 minutes from time. Nottingham Forest stays second, coming from behind to hammer Coventry 4-1. The crowd at the City Ground was over 31,000, beating Forest's previous best of the season by 8,000. Another young side, George Graham's Arsenal, recently enjoyed a 14-game winning streak, but after this morning's match at Wimbledon, it's now just 1 victory in 7 games.
Arsenal's visit to Plough Lane had been eagerly awaited by the South London club. Wimbledon's current form was good, while Arsenal had picked up just 5 points out of a possible 18 in the last few weeks. So the chance of a first ever win over an Arsenal side hit by injury and illness was on the cards. Such optimism took an early knock, though, when, after only 3 minutes, Arsenal broke with authority and speed. Pace was provided by Perry Groves, unsettling the Wimbledon defence and setting up a chance at the near post for Niall Quinn. There then followed an uneasy spell for the home side, in which their keeper, Dave Besant, nearly gifted the silliest goal of the season. Dave is renowned for his extrovert style of keeping, but this incident was more on the eccentric side, and one which might just keep him awake tonight. What's that old saying about never taking your eye off the ball? At this stage, Arsenal continued to have the better of things, and really it didn't come as too much of a surprise when they took the lead after 23 minutes. Grove's pace forced Wimbledon to concede a throw-in, and Arsenal were able to benefit from it. David Rocastle clipping in a perfect cross to the head of Quinn. "1-0 to Arsenal, and a moment of encouragement to the tall Republic of Ireland international who has lost his place to Alan Smith this season. It's also a goal which keeps Quinn in Irish manager Jack Charlton's thoughts, with the European Championship finals not that far away. So the first half belonged to Arsenal and their huge following, but what a turnaround within 3 minutes of the second half starting. Straight from the kick-off, Wimbledon attacked through Dennis Wise. Forcing his way to the goal line, he cut in and hit a precise cross which Alan Cork met superbly. 1-1, and a goal which owed a great deal to referee John Moores. With his linesman flagging furiously for a free kick, he allowed play to go on, and Wimbledon reaped the benefit. Almost immediately, Cork returned the compliment to Wise as Wimbledon used the strong wind to their advantage. The well-known tactic of putting opposition under pressure from Besant's huge kicks worked a treat, although the Arsenal defence be asking itself a few questions as well. They failed to clear the danger, gave the ball away, and this time it was Cork who set up the chance for Wise, one which the little number 11 took supremely well. 2-1 to Wimbledon, and Arsenal with only themselves to blame, although all credit to Wise for the left foot strike. For the next 20 minutes, Wimbledon literally laid siege to the Arsenal goal, with several clear-cut chances. First, Steve Williams was caught in possession in his own box by Sanchez, and only a magnificent save by John Lukic denied Alan Cork his second goal. Then the other goal scorer, Wise, had a chance for further glory. Carlton Fairweather's cross being side-footed over the bar. It was unusual to see the Arsenal defence so rattled and unsure, but that's the way it stayed for quite a while. Another long kick from Besant caused panic, and Fairweather's snapshot brought Lukic to his knees again. All this Wimbledon superiority took place in the 20 minutes that followed the interval, but then Arsenal came back. Kenny Sansom's long free kick led to David Rocastle threatening, and when Quinn went down in the box, there were appeals for a penalty. The referee's whistle stayed silent, and clearly he thought Fairweather's left leg was stuck out in a genuine attempt to win the ball. But if that was a close call for Wimbledon, take a look at this one, as Rocastle rounds Besant, only to see his shot brilliantly stopped on the line by the impressive Andy Thorne. With time running out fast, Rocastle was then involved in a fine Arsenal move. Running with the ball, he found Martin Hayes, who in turn got behind the defence. The low cross evaded Quinn's lunging boot. It was to be Arsenal's last real chance of snatching a point, because 4 minutes later, in the 89th minute, Wimbledon sewed the game and 3 points up. Once again, questions have to be asked about the Arsenal defence. Not so much in the build-up, but when Sanchez found Vinnie Jones totally unmarked with the long ball. A cool calculating finish, and Wimbledon were home and dry. Wimbledon 3, Arsenal 1, and a game of great entertainment for the unbiased observer and, of course, the home fans. But what a contrast in moods between the two managers. For Arsenal's George Graham, the surprising slump in form continues. For Wimbledon's Bobby Gould, another bit of history for the club, and just as important.
Excellent game for football, Willow. It's a great game for people to come and see so many chances created. Nightmare for managers and coaches, but at the end of the day, anybody that's not enjoyed that game of football, not worth coming to watch football.
Yes, I would have done if I was a fan, but unfortunately, you know what I mean, it's my living, so obviously the result was poor for us. Looking back on the game, I think they outplayed us for about 25 minutes. Apart from that, I thought we had control of the game. We had a lot of chances, especially away from home, but what really upset me is we were defending. I thought it was awful.
After such a long unbeaten run, a winning run, this must be disappointing for you in terms of the championship.
Yes, it is, but people mustn't forget that we've got about half a dozen players of 21 and under today. You know, when things are going well and you're on a winning run, they just go out and enjoy it. You know, they're well organised, they're full of running. But when they sort of get a defeat or two, then their heads begin to drop. And that's a learning process, and it's something that they're going to have to sort of learn quickly if we're sort of going to go for honours.
Yeah, well, we've taken Liverpool to task here, 1-1, Everton 1-1, Notts Forest 1-1, and now we've beat Arsenal 3-1. And the players have a system that they believe in. Two players that have done well over the last 48 hours, Laurie Sanchez and Vincent Jones. And that's the engine room. And if those lads can motor like they have done over the last 2 games and keep that going to the end of the season, we won't be far away.
Quite nice that it was against one of your old clubs as well.
I think it's especially happy for Don Howe, who's suffering with a cold, had 2 dispirin at half-time to clear his headache because he didn't think we'd played that well. But no, we've come away, we beat West Ham, we've beat Arsenal, but at the end of the day, we've got to take out the Maxwell might now. We've got to play Derby and we've got to play Oxford within 24 hours, and if they get through that, we've had a good Christmas.
Not so George Graham. Queen's Park Rangers earned their first win in 12 games, but only just. 2 goals by Mark Falco and 1 from Martin Allen saw them beat Oxford 3-2. Elsewhere, a 40th minute goal by Danny Wilson gave Luton victory over Charlton. But bad news for Luton tonight, they've just learned that Ricky Hill broke his leg, not against Charlton today, but at Everton on Saturday. He's likely to be out for the rest of the season. At Carrow Road, Rule Fox and Jeremy Goss scored their first senior goals to steer Norwich to a 3-0 win over Chelsea. Kevin Drinkle got the third. At Portsmouth, an 87th minute equaliser by Tony Agana salvaged a point for bottom-of-the-table Watford. And Sheffield Wednesday's good run continued as Lee Chapman and Colin West gave them a 2-1 win over Derby. So this is how the First Division looks tonight. Liverpool 10 points clear of Forest. Arsenal stay third, but Manchester United move into 4th place above Everton. In the Second Division, Bobby Davison was on target again as in-form Leeds beat Middlesbrough 2-0 at Elland Road to end the leaders' 14-match unbeaten run. Peter Swan got the other goal, but his teammate Glyn Snowden and Middlesbrough's Stuart Ripley were sent off for fighting. Middlesbrough stayed top, though, as their immediate challengers all failed to capitalise on that result. Brian Mitchell earned second-place Bradford, a point at Blackburn after Colin Hendry gave the home side an early lead. Paul Birch scored for Aston Villa, who move into 3rd place, but Villa's inconsistent home form continued and they were held by lowly Huddersfield. So Middlesbrough now just a point ahead of Bradford at the top, with Aston Villa a further 2 points back in 3rd place. Sunderland stayed 2 points clear at the top of Division 3 despite being held at home by struggling Preston. Notts County stays 2nd after drawing at Blackpool. There was a female streaker at, of all places, Bristol City, where the home side ended Brighton's 17-match unbeaten run with a 5-2 win to go 4th. 2 results in Division 4 tonight: Colchester United 2, Cardiff 1, Newport County 1, Crewe Alexandra 2. So that means Colchester go back to the top, 2 points clear of Wolves, who beat Exeter 3-0.
Thank you, Bob. Needless to say, we all wish you a prosperous and happy and a peaceful new year, and I can tell you it starts very well for those of you who enjoy watching football on BBC television. On Sunday, January the 3rd, it's Everton v Nottingham Forest, live from Goodison Park at 3 o'clock. On Sunday the 10th, from the FA Cup 3rd round, Ipswich and Manchester United, also live at 3 o'clock. It's back to the Barclays League for highlights of matches played on January the 16th. Then on Sports Night on Wednesday evening the 20th of January, highlights from the Littlewoods Cup quarter-finals. Then live football again, Arsenal v Manchester United on January the 24th at 3 o'clock. And finally back to the FA Cup for highlights of the 4th round on Saturday evening, January the 30th. That's quite a month coming up. And we paid our tribute to the young and promising earlier. Let's finish the year rejoicing with the European Championship just around the corner at the splendid form of 2 more mature talents, Peter Reid and Brian Robson. Good night.
Reid. He did that well. Brilliant. Stevens. Oh, that's terrific play by Everton. And they've got Snowden in behind Bruce. And if Heath can finish this... Brian Robson into McClare. Now here's a chance. McClare, yes! A goal for Manchester United.